So a lot of people try to teach you that you let the clutch out and you give it a little bit of gas and all that stuff. I'm not going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you how to use. It's not as complicated as that. It's more about the clutch. So I'm going to teach you to move the vehicle without using the gas pedal, using only the clutch pedal. So with your clutch pedal in all the way, put it in first gear, which is to the left. That's the third gear. So left and up. Okay, yep. Put your brake pedal down. I mean your emergency brake. So you pull it up a little bit, push it down. Now, don't do it yet, but you're going to let off the clutch very, very slowly. And you're going to be paying attention to what the engine is doing. If you go too fast, you're going to overburden the engine. The engine's going to be overwhelmed, and it's going to start to stumble like it's going to stall. It may even stall. If that starts to happen, you just push the clutch back in, and then the engine will be free of the transmission. Because what you're doing is you're joining the engine with the transmission, and you have to they have to match speeds. In order to match speeds, you have to let off the clutch very, very slowly. Yeah. So go ahead and let out very, very slow, and listen to what the engine's doing. You're doing okay. And then once it starts rolling good, you can just let your foot off the pedal now. Now you let your foot all the way off, and you're rolling. So you start giving it a little bit of gas, you can go faster. You're all right. You're in the parking lot. So a good habit to be in once you start driving all the time is when you're not using the clutch pedal, to take your foot right off the pedal. You don't want your foot on the pedal like the way it is right now, because that'll prematurely wear your clutch out. So you're good. So keep going. So go ahead and go that way. You can stay in first gear here for now because you're going at good speed. So the brake pedal is going to work the same. So when you want to stop, you use your right foot, your gas pedal foot, for your brake like you normally do. But you're going to push your clutch in at the same time. You're going to do both when you want to stop. So go ahead, push it. Oh. So you stopped, but you didn't push your clutch pedal in. So put that clutch pedal all the way down, start it back up again. Now let your foot off the brake. So this car works pretty good on because it's a pretty high horsepower car, so you can get away with letting off the clutch. A lot of cars are underpowered, so they don't. So whenever when you're going to start to slow down too much, you want to push your clutch in, push that clutch in.
Oh.
You gotta forget, push that clutch in.
Like all the way?
All the way in, because that disengages the engine from the transmission and allows the engine to keep doing what it needs to do. Okay. Let's work on stopping. Let's try to do that. So go ahead and push that clutch pedal in first, all the way to the floor, and then hit your brakes to stop.
I was trying to do it at the same time,
okay.
Which is why I was like, okay.
And then now go ahead and...
Which one do I let go?
You let go of your brake first, because now you want to start rolling. Oh, too fast with the clutch. So you see what I mean? If you go too fast with it. So you go real slow and you listen to what the engine's doing, and it's doing good. You're doing fine.
So I don't have to keep doing it in circles. Let off the brake pedal. Let the clutch out slowly. Listen to that engine. Good. And then let off the clutch. And always let that foot go to the side.
gentle with the clutch. So push it all the way back in. So that's where the gas pedal starts to come in. So if you want to take off quicker, you add gas to it to compensate for it trying to stall. I'm just trying to get you to get a feel for the clutch right now. So let off that, get it right off that clutch pedal. Because then when you have it halfway in like that, it's going to slip and it's going to prematurely wear it out. It's not a big deal when you're learning, but if you're doing it as a habit every day when you're driving like your grandmother does, then you're going to blow your clutches out quicker. I don't know if I should have said that because it's going to be on YouTube. Huh?
She gets to point A to point B.
Yes. She does. And if you ever doubt it, you just push the clutch pedal all the way in and hit the brakes to stop. Clutch. Yeah, you're all the way in. Good.
Oh, I need to get over the bump. Oh.
You're good. You're all right.
Oh, close.
Go ahead and turn up that way. Once you're rolling, you're okay. Second, let off the clutch. Now you can go faster. But now when you want to get up to the turn, you want to push that clutch back in, push down, push it up to first now. Oh, that's third. Yeah, I think that's first. Let off the clutch now. Yeah, and then you can probably roll around your turn here, right in first gear. You don't have to push in the clutch. As long as you're moving forward, you can stay in first gear and with no clutch. As you start to go faster, you notice the engine's going faster. It's going to keep going faster until it blows up. That's why it is gears. That's why you get higher gears. Right now you're going at a slow speed, so it's not a big deal. But you genuinely want to cruise somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM. That's your normal cruising speed. This car revs kind of high, so it wants to be in that. Even at like 65 miles an hour, it's going to be at 2,500, 3,000 RPM, just because that's the way this car is. But a lot of cars are lower than that, so 2,000 RPM is a good fuel economy RPM to be at, but you can't always drive that way. You have to drive faster sometimes. So not that crazy, is it? Some people just don't ever get it. I don't know why. You might have a different perspective on that because you've never driven anything else.
Well, the driver's ed cars are like a normal size car.
Yeah. Because for some reason I have a hard time in Mom's car figuring out the perspective of things and stuff, and I've driven for a long time. And Mom has trouble with it too. I don't know how many times I've hit a curb with it turning into a parking space and stuff just because I haven't been able to figure out the...
The first time I like actually parked was at Pizza Pizzazz.
Yeah.
And it was like in between the curb and another car. But it was good.
This car's tiny, so too much, too fast, too aggressive.
Oh my god.
You're all right. Let's slower on the clutch and try to give it a little bit of gas. There you go. Go once you get into this parking lot over here, stop because the trash truck just pulled in and the trash can's right over there, so you don't want to be in his way. Let him do his thing and then. Alright, push that clutch in. Go ahead and stop.
Should I pull into a space?
You don't have to. Just want to stop. Push that clutch all the way down. Put it in neutral. So neutral is in between. So when you can go across, see this line right here. When the stick shift does that, that's when you're in neutral. So that's when you can let off the clutch and you pull the brake up. Now the brake, you don't have to push the button when you pull it on. You can just pull it up and it makes that clicking noise and it stops. So that's it.
Cool.
Not too bad. First time. All right, go to the store now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To load.
Yep.
Again.
So you're good?
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Not as intense and crazy as some people make it out to be, and why people don't know how to drive standards, and why
It's just like remembering.
it's just remembering. It's a different coordination, and you have to remember that your left foot is only for the clutch.
Yeah.
You never use your left foot for anything else but the clutch. And even when you're driving an automatic car, only the right foot. You never have to use your left foot in an automatic. But standards are going away, so you may not have to worry about it because there's very few cars that actually have standards anymore. Good job. Okay. It's okay. You'll go around. Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Get in the car. Alrighty.
Or did Pepe teach you how to drive stick?
I think I kind of just figured it out because I think Josh and Uncle Josh and I worked on it because Josh's dad had a Saab, an old Saab that was a standard, and Josh's uncle had a farm, and we used to just drive that Saab around on the farm roads and stuff, and I think I kind of just learned by messing around with a car like that because Mom and Dad, Meme and Pepe, didn't have a standard car to teach me on, so I didn't. That was really the only experience I had with it. And then my cousin Kenny had a car that was a standard too. So once I already kind of knew from driving Uncle Josh's car, but then Kenny's cars were standard, so I kind of played around with those two a little bit. I didn't own my own standard until probably I had a 1980 Pontiac Sunbird in high school. That was a standard. That was a 4-speed. So drove that. That was kind of a junky car. And then it was just trucks after that.
Was that red truck a standard?
My first, the little red lowrider one.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a 4-cylinder, 5-speed. And then the one I had before that was a brand new S10 that I had bought. That when I first graduated high school, that was a standard. Yeah. They don't make many standards anymore. A few sports cars, that's it. And even now, I think the new Corvette's not even a standard, which is kind of
Really?
ridiculous to me.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
I feel like you can only cheat way You should only be able to Jeep weight if it's a Wrangler or a Standard.
Oh, the Jeeps? Yeah. I am not that familiar with the newest Jeeps. I don't know if do they still come in a Standard?
I don't know.
Like, can you get that 4-door Jeep
I don't
like all
know.
decked out in a standard transmission? I don't know. I haven't even looked into it.
I have no clue.
That just seems weird to me. Jeeps just should automatically be standards. They should never, ever, ever be automatics. But nobody wants them anymore. I don't know what it is. Like even trucks, pickup trucks, you can't get in a standard anymore. None of them. I don't think any of them make a standard transmission. I think Toyota might make one, or they did up until like a year or two ago. I don't know. But you'd be able to drive this. You'd be able to drive the old crappy S10.
The one you're building?
Yep.
Hashtag crappy S10.
Hashtag crappy S10. What's that?
Hay truck?
Looks like a hay truck. I don't know.
But why are they here?
Weird.
They make Ronins for mini.
Yeah, you were telling me. That's
The little version of it.
that would be pretty cool. That might be all I need because I don't mind this camera. I think it works good.
And it has like another app that connects to it.
I just jeez. Jeez. An app that connects to a Ronin?
Yeah.
Why don't you just use the app? Oh, because you can control it
Yeah.
somehow?
It's like it needs like a certain it needs its own Wi-Fi too kind of thing.
Now, what does it do? I understand it
It,
probably
like,
stabilizes and
it's-
stuff, but can you?
You like can move it around with just your it's like kind of a remote control that's attached to the camera.
Now, can I control it from the app or something? So if I'm like standing at my workbench, can I
So
make it do follow me and stuff or something like that?
I'm pretty sure.
That'd be cool. Because I was looking at those web cameras that kind of do that, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
That one I was telling you I work, that's a $4,000 web camera.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna pay $4,000. There's this one camera.
I said, no, I'll pay somebody to move the camera around before I pay for $4,000 for something that does it by itself.
My dream camera is $4,000. Canon C100.
All right, at the store. Shut off the thing here. That's what I'm saying.
Did you send her a picture?
Yeah. She asked if you're getting it. She didn't think you would do it. She was like, I don't think she's gonna want to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off for now. Get into the app here. I lost connection. Control GoPro. Learning all this technology. Bye.